What's up, everyone? Sean here with Waterman's Edge. We're back at the boat. Haven't worked on it in 2 weeks since the last video because of rain and other family and other stuff came up. So got a nice day out here today. I got a little bit of a late start. I'm going to try to get a couple things done, and it's going to rain again tomorrow. But taking Wednesday off, and it's supposed to be 72 degrees, perfect weather, so we can resume then. But today, basically what I'm doing, what I've done is I've prepped the inside of the console here. I wiped everything down with acetone after removing all the loose stuff, and then I taped off all the areas that I don't want to fill with short strand fiberglass filler. Everything else inside, wherever I find a hole, is going to get filled. And then I've also taped off the front side, the face of it, so that it doesn't bleed through and leak out. So that will should make it a little bit easier to fill it with gel coat later. May have to do a little bit of sanding. So let's jump right into this. My goal today is to get all these holes filled. It's going to take probably 30-45 minutes to cure, and then I want to come back and paint the hole inside with the TopSide paint, white, and that will get us to a point where basically the inside is done, and then I can flip it over and work on the outside next week and hopefully get all that knocked out with all the gel coat. So let's see how this goes. All right, we have our short strand filler here, and I've never used this stuff. Wasn't even sure what the consistency was going to be. It's pretty thick, and it says a 3-inch circle of this stuff you mix with a 3-inch stripe, I guess you call it, of hardener. Wow. Trying to mix this up. Never done this before, so we'll see what happens. This looks funky. And this stuff will harden depending on the temperature. So I needed a bigger scooper. Depending on the temperature, it can harden, start to harden in 10 minutes. So I gotta move pretty quickly here. Try not to make a complete mess. So I don't know, 3-inch, that settles down. Seems like plenty for what I'm doing. So let's add our hardener. Like that. And then we'll start mixing. I'm going to use the I want to get the stuff well incorporated, as with any sort of resin and dual stage. Make sure everything hardens evenly. This is just a piece of plastic that I have from my Jeep Wrangler parts that I make. This was a scratched piece, so I'm sure you can use pretty much whatever you want. All right, that should be good. Let's get to application. I'm just going to start applying this small amounts into the holes that I know need to be filled, if I can find them. And we want to push it in there. Remember, we have tape on the back side, so come at it with different angles. Doesn't have to be super pretty because it's getting painted anyway. Just needs that backing to fill the hole and allow the gel coat to stick to it. Just smooth it out as much as I can. Move to the next one. Oh. Too much harder. Too much harder. Look at that. Wow. Okay. So that was an interesting test, but we got to redo it because I can't even paste it anymore. That hardened up in minutes. So let's go back and make a new batch and use way less hardener. Well, that was a little more challenging than I expected, but got everything done. Stuff along the edge. Just had a big chunk out of it, so I kind of built that back up. I'll need some sanding. We got everything else filled, and this stuff is already some of the first ones I did was super hard. So I ended up using about 5 or 6 batches, but I mixed them up smaller. And then I also did the deck, and I taped all these holes off so we just get a little bit, as much as we need. Hopefully strengthen some of those holes. Those not too concerned about. They'll get hidden by the console lip. So I'm going to let this set up for a little bit longer, and then we'll come back and I'm going to get 1 or 2 coats of paint down on it. Bondo filler is nice and hard now, so firmed up. We got a brush to get in smaller crevices, and then we're going to roll the rest on. Did a good mix on that topside paint. We get that. I got that at Lowe's. I'm not sure if Lowe's sells it in every area, but because we're in a water boating area, they have it. But I guess you can use any other brand. That's actually Topside. That's the brand. So let's get started here. We'll start with the edging, just like you would your house. Stuff is fairly thick. Put a good layer down, you know. If there's any loose stuff that I didn't get, then it will seal it in, I'm pretty sure. Now, I should have taken the hatch off these bolts over here. I wish I did before I flipped it, but I didn't, so we're just going to work around those. I don't think it's a big deal. Alright, you get the idea. I'm going to finish this up and come back and see what it looks like when it's done. Inside the console is all painted. Went fairly easily with minimal paint on myself. So pretty heavy. You can see the gel coat. Looking at it from up here, it looks white, but once you go here and then look at the original color, this topside stuff, when I do my patching, is going to be a bit difficult to match. So we'll see how that goes. I've never done gel coat, but at least the inside is all clean, ready to go. Let this set up tonight, and it should be fine before the rain comes in tomorrow. And then Wednesday, we'll be back at it. I'll be able to flip this thing over and start working on the outside. Trying to get this thing done as soon as possible. A lot more to do. So, see you guys on the next one.